All right, this is an introduction to clay and tips to help you be successful. If you're getting your own clay, you're gonna get it out of a bag. You can just reach in there and grab the clay that you need. Be sure to twist up the bag so that you protect the rest of the clay from turning into a dry brick of clay. So I've got a chunk of clay here. I'm gonna get a little bit more and I'm gonna twist up the bag and twist that plastic up really good, roll it over, and make sure that clay is sealed up and not going to get dried out so that other kids can use it. That's important. Once you have your clay, and I've got mine, it's a little dry. I got a cloth mat from the drawer right back there, and I also got clay tools and rolling pins and other stuff out of those drawers right back there. So my clay is a little dry. I'm gonna go over to the corner of the table, and I'm gonna wedge my clay to hydrate it. So I've got my clay here. The corner, if I bang it here, it can get loud. If I go to the corner, it's more solid and I can wedge it better. So I'm gonna smash it like a cookie, make a few divots where the water can sit in it, and I'm gonna put rub a little bit of water on there and then smash it back up and then put it down, smush it with my palm. Standing up is a great way to work your clay, not sitting down. Stand up, put more water on it, and then fold it up. And I'm just gonna keep doing that until my clay is softer and more sculptable. This is called wedging. So it's getting pretty wet. I'm gonna smash it and then just it's already pretty wet. Just gonna smash it and keep working it to distribute those water molecules around throughout the clay. It's kind of slick on the outside, so I'm just gonna put it down on the table, and I can flip it, drop it, flip it, drop it, flip it, drop it. That's wedging. Okay, I've got my clay softened up by wedging. If I want to use the rolling pins and the sticks to make slabs, you can do a lot of stuff with slabs. If I want to use these, first I'm gonna get the clay most of the way flattened, and if I want a long slab, I might squish it out kind of long, like a log, and then I would smash it most of the way with the palm of my hand. I wouldn't use the rolling pin on thick clay. It would just get stuck. So once I have it smashed most of the way, if I have two sticks that are the same thickness, I can roll this out and get a really nice slab to work on. And I push on the pin right here. I don't push on the handles, and I use my body weight. And then you can do a lot of things. You can make mugs. You can watch my YouTube video for making a mug. You can do a lot of things with a slab of clay. I can find things that are circular like a cup, and I can set them down. A good sharp pencil or a needle tool or even a tool like this would all be good enough to cut my circle. I'll go with this tool here and just kind of go around the cup. And so now off of this cookie shape, I can smooth it out with water if it's a little rough. Water is your friend. I've got a nice slab here. I can build on this. I can use coils and make some type of functional art, some type of container. I can use slabs to make faces or characters. I can take this. If I'm using just the black table, I can take my clay and roll out coils. Start them with my hand like that, and then I can finish them here and make some coils to build with. If I'm attaching and building, it's very important. Anytime that you attach, I might lay it down and just check it before I start building with it. Before I attach, I want to scratch. So I'm going to scratch up the area where it attaches, and I'm going to rub water where it attaches, and then I want to push nice and firmly as I'm making that attachment. I've got some gaps in there. I can use scraping tools like butter knives to seal that attachment and smooth out my cracks. So I could keep building coils and make a vase or a cup or some type of container. And this is attached really well. It's not going to come apart. Another technique to use is a pinch method to make pottery. I'm going to roll this into a ball. It doesn't have to be a perfect ball. I can push a thumb or a finger into that ball, and I can start to pinch out my sides to make a bowl or a cup or the body of an animal, maybe a turtle. I want to pinch this out to a thickness that's about as thick as my pinky. I don't want to pinch it thin like that because it'll be brittle and it will have sharp edges. So we want to avoid pinching it out too thin. So right now, I'm just going to keep turning it and pinching it and getting a good thickness. Let's say I was making a turtle, okay? The body of anything needs to be hollow. You could also, you could also use a tool like this to scoop out and scrape and remove clay to get it more hollow on the inside, but you cannot have clay that's solid. So you don't want it too skinny like that, and you don't want it too solid and thick. Otherwise it will bust in the kiln. If there's blemishes in your clay, you can rub them with water and make them go away. It's kind of satisfying. I could attach a head and flippers and a tail to this. I could scratch into the clay and make designs. Like if it was a turtle shell. And it's very important that whenever you're done sculpting, you find a place and you scratch your name and code into your clay. Mr. K. And your class code. Let's pretend I'm in 6th period B day. I put a 6 and a B somewhere. And then I would let this sit on the rolly cart and it would dry for about a week before Mr. Kingery can fire it. If there's little rough spots, I can take some water and clean those up. And just double check my thickness. A pinch pot is a great way to make a lot of pottery. You can make things that have lids. You can make, if you don't use a lot of clay, you can make more than one thing. And if you're interested in making mugs or in slumping, you should check out my other YouTube videos for those techniques with clay. Have fun and good luck.